Okay, so we need to talk about this red pill philosophy guy because he's got some really cool stuff. But I had to unsubscribe because my feed was full of anti-feminism, and he's a really good example of the patriarchal mindset. So we're gonna try to cover that because it's really interesting. So in the patriarchal mindset, you have two sorts of women. You have women who are basically invisible and boring, but they are virtuous and they can be married and bear your offspring and basically act as a means of reproduction for you. And there's another type of women, and they are despised and they can have sex with you and with other people because nobody's gonna marry them and make children through them. So that's the basic separation. I can really feel it in what he tries to promote. But more generally, patriarchy means that it's that you got fathers, basically, that you have men and women who unite to make a child, and that's very beautiful, but in reality it's exploitation of the female reproductive system by a man that buys her through marriage. So I heard this guy is quite against marriage and for open relationships, so that's a great step. But you have to understand that this arrangement of open relationships or whatever will destroy marriage and destroy the patriarchy that you are defending. So that's quite an interesting situation, because the whole point of marriage for these last couple thousand years is to certify paternity. Basically, is to certify that this woman will not be having sex with anyone else than the man she's attached to. So we are sure that this is his children. That's what we mean by patriarchy. It means rights of the father over the children, because it must be his children. But the thing is, it goes against everything instinctual and natural in human beings, because human beings are quite exogamous and quite promiscuous. So there's quite a lot of sexual repression that has to unfold for this system to work. And that's what he's working on when, for example, he's basically not harassing women, but justifying harassment with this running girl video. And yeah, I'd be curious to know what he thinks of this definition of patriarchy that I'm offering, because it's true that usually, even in feminism, patriarchy doesn't really mean anything for them, or it means oppression of men upon women. But it's like, where did that come from? And we can understand this better through family rights, because the current definition of the word patriarchy is not really serious. So now, with this idea of patriarchy as right of the father, we understand sexual repression, which leads to hate towards women, because people like women, I guess. Men like women, so when they see women but they cannot have sex with them or be promiscuous in any way, well, I don't know, they get angry, they get jealous. So that's why we have problems with the system. But actually I have pretty good hopes for this guy, because he's promoting open relationships, and we know that this doesn't go right with patriarchy, because if women are free to choose whoever they want in their life romantically, and it doesn't work. It doesn't work to make families based on marriage and stay together because of the children. So there's a conflict here, and I think this is for the greater good and liberation of women, And this will help because we will be forced to propose exogamous families, structures where there is nothing happening between the members of the family, which is what's up in the traditional matrilineal system that was in place before the patriarchy. That's how it works for big animals. So basically, I'd really like to know if he chooses marriage and fatherhood and the sexual repression that goes with it, or if he is thinking about other family arrangements that could enable everyone to have more freedom, but also give the children some stability, because in the system right now we have a patriarchy that is getting dismantled by women's rights, and of course we think it's pretty nice, but the problem is the children don't really have stable families anymore, so that's not cool. So we need to rebuild families, and I'm listening to your suggestions here.